You are 40 years old. You sit in the dark because the light costs money. The silence in the room isn't peaceful. It is heavy. It is the sound of your life ticking away while the math stays broken. You look at the plastic calculator. You press the buttons. You already know the answer, but you press them anyway. Not a calculation, a ritual. Into the screen, into the red ink, into the quiet panic of a Tuesday night. The house is sleeping. Your family is sleeping. They think you have a plan. They think because you are 40, you are the wall that protects them from the cold. They don't see the numbers. At 20, being broke is an adventure. It is a story you tell over cheap beer. At 40, being broke is a funeral for your potential. It means the world looked at your 2 decades of labor and decided it was worth nothing. The bill waits. The bank waits. You stop pretending you choose these things. You don't choose. The number chooses for you. The number follows you into every conversation you avoid about what you do for a living. You go to sleep with the taste of copper in your mouth. The first rule: at $0, you aren't a person. You are a biological machine designed to convert stress into survival.
The number changes, but the air stays thin. You have 7 figures in the dark. You spent 2 years clawing, running, and skipping meals to touch the line. You thought the line would make you feel tall. It doesn't. It just shows you how deep the hole actually was. You look at your reflection in the rearview mirror. Gray hair at the ears. Deep valleys under the eyes. You exchanged your 30 nights sleep for a digital comma. Not wealth. A temporary stay of execution. Into the traffic. Into the office. Into the same routine that broke your youth. The car next to you at the light has a cracked windshield. You look at the driver. He is 42. He looks tired too. You want to tell him you are different. You want to tell him you won't drown. But you don't open the window. You realize $1 million at 40 isn't a crown. It is just a shield that can withstand exactly 1 major cancer diagnosis or 1 economic shift. The fear doesn't leave your blood. It just gets quieter. The clock ticks. The engine hums. Comparing at this level feels like staring at the sun. It doesn't help. It just burns. The second rule: at $1 million, you haven't escaped the cage. You have just bought a view of the door.
Your childhood friend is complaining about the price of tires. He is 44. He is talking about his mortgage rate. He is talking about how his back hurts when the weather turns wet. You know the exact cost of his suffering. You could pay off his house tomorrow and not feel the scratch on your pile. But you stand there and you say nothing. You nod your head. You drink your cheap beer. You fake the old frustration, not humility. Protection. Into the old friendships. Into the family dinners. Into every relationship you must now systematically lie to protect. If you tell them the truth, the room changes. The laughter turns into a transaction. The old memories turn into envy. You start making excuses to stay home. You avoid the high school reunions. You avoid the phone calls from your cousin who needs a small loan for a business idea. The pile is growing, but the circle is shrinking. The grill smokes. The friends laugh. The money follows you into every conversation you avoid about where you are taking your family for the summer. The third rule: at $5 million, the price of your security is the permanent isolation from the people who knew your original name.
The lawyers don't speak to you. They speak to your entity. You sit in the room, but you are no longer the owner of your life. The trust owns the house. The corporation owns the vehicles. The board controls the movement of the blood. You are 45, and you have successfully built a wall so thick that even you cannot cross it. You sign your name on the 8th page. Your hand is steady, but your chest is hollow. You look out the glass at the tiny people on the street below. Not freedom. Management.
into the documents, into the structures, into the endless preservation of a mass that cannot be allowed to die. You don't fix things yourself anymore. A man comes to the house to fix the ice maker. Another man comes to trim the trees. You watch them work through the window. They have sweat on their shirts. They have grease under their nails. They have agency. You have parameters. The numbers are too large to be liquid. They exist as stones in a fortress. You cannot run away. You cannot change your mind. You cannot become small again. The fourth rule. At $10 million, you stop being a hunter and become the warden of your own vault.
Your son doesn't know what a winter utility bill looks like. He is 15. He talks about shoes that cost more than your first 3 apartments. He moves through the world with an easy, soft weightlessness that terrifies your stomach. You look at him, and you don't see your legacy. You see a target. You look at your wife. She is looking at a vacation brochure. You don't see her smile. Not affection. Calculation. Into the kitchen. Into the bedrooms. Into the hearts of the people who sleep under your roof. The paranoia is a cold grease that coats everything you touch. You start checking the security cameras from your phone while you are sitting in the bathroom. You start reading the fine print on the prenuptial revisions. You start wondering if your daughter's new boyfriend loves her, or if he loves the name of the foundation on the building downtown. The house is 3,000 square feet of silence. The numbers have successfully eaten your trust. You look at the people you love and you realize you have provided them with everything except a father who can believe their words. The fifth rule. At $30 million, every smile you receive feels like an invoice waiting to be paid.
You travel across the ocean, but you never touch the ground. You move from the private lounge to the private cabin to the private car. The world outside the tinted glass looks like a movie playing on a screen with the sound turned down. You are 47, and you have become a ghost in your own generation. You sit in the leather seat as the plane climbs through the black clouds. The flight attendant asks if you need anything else. Her voice is perfect. Her teeth are perfect. Her eyes are completely dead. Not service. Compliance. Into the clouds, into the high air, into the complete elimination of friction from your physical existence. When there is no friction, there is no gravity. You stop remembering the names of the streets you used to walk on. You stop knowing the price of a gallon of milk. You stop feeling the weather. The temperature is always 72 degrees. The food is always soft. The answers are always yes. The silence inside the cabin is absolute. The sixth rule. At $100 million, you don't live in the world. You own a ticket to watch it pass from the window.
You look at the crowd, and you see a different species. They are fighting for seats on the train. They are worried about the rain. They are holding plastic bags from the discount grocery store. You watch them, and you feel nothing. Not pity, not anger, just a vast, frozen distance. You are 49 years old, and you have reached the edge of the human map. Your money has its own gravity now. It breeds itself in accounts you don't look at, managed by people you don't meet, in cities you don't visit. Not an asset, an independent life form. Into the cold street, into the gray light, into the realization that you have succeeded yourself out of the human race. The numbers have completed the work. You stop pretending you are part of the herd. You don't speak their language. You don't share their fears. You don't understand their small joys. A good cup of coffee doesn't change your day. A sunny afternoon doesn't lift your chest. Your pride is completely gone because there is nothing left to defend it against. The crowd moves. The trains roar. The number follows you into every mirror you avoid.
because you don't recognize the old man looking back through the glass. The seventh rule. At $250 million, the money has stopped serving your life and has begun using your body as a container to exist.
$400 million. You are 50 years old tonight. You sit in the dark because the light doesn't change the view. The silence in this room isn't peace. It is the final bill for everything you dropped along the road to get here. You open the digital screen. You look at the final number. It has 8 zeros. It is beautiful. It is perfect. It is completely worthless to the 50-year-old knees that ache when the room gets cold. You look at your hand. It is the same hand that held the plastic calculator 10 years ago. You didn't buy your youth back with the pile. You didn't invest in a fund that could return the friends who don't call anymore. You didn't buy a single hour of genuine safety from the simple fact that you were running out of breath. The money didn't save you. It just witnessed your transition from a man who was hungry to a man who was finished. You close the screen. The glass goes dark. One last time. Somewhere right now, a 40-year-old man is sitting in his kitchen at 3:14 a.m. He is turning a plastic calculator in his hands. He is staring at a stack of red-stamped papers under a flickering bulb. He thinks he has an entry problem. He thinks if he can just cross the first line, the world will open up and hold him warm. He thinks he is building a ladder. He doesn't know yet that the ladder doesn't lead to the sky. It leads to the roof of the cage. The miles aren't hitting his bank account. They are hitting his spine. The numbers aren't filling the room. They are crowding out the air. The calculator resets. The bulb flickers. The pile doesn't care who owns it. It takes whoever survives the collection.